Hey guys, uh, December 10, I am in Butuan now. Uh, it's actually pretty nice here. I kind of enjoy it. So this video is going to be about my first impression and excuse me, my experience here. Sorry, I'm gonna be coughing a lot because for whatever reason I can't shake this cold that I have. I don't know why people get colds in tropical climates. I thought it was only supposed to happen in the cold places because that's why it's called a cold. But you can actually get cold in hot places, which is why I got one. Um, so how I'm trying to treat this? I drink a ton of calamansi juice. My girlfriend made one in the morning. It's a big cup full of squeezed calamansis. I don't know, she probably puts about 57 of them in there because they're tiny, small little things. About the, the size of quail eggs. And it tastes pretty nice. You don't have to add any sugar to it. They got their own sweetness. It's not like a lemon by any means. It tastes a little bit lemony and bit the skin smells like a lime. It's a really good juice, and it's more like a strong lemon tea. And it seems to work. As soon as I drink that, my cough subsides, and I don't cough for, I don't know, at least 6 hours anyway. Maybe I'm due for another one. But she made one in the morning, and now it's kind of expiring, so I gotta maybe take another one. Not to mention that I'm smoking cigarettes, so that really can't help much. But anyway, excuse me. Let's get back on track. Butuan City. It's a very nice city. I like it. It's I think it's way nicer than Pagadian. Uh, Probably a lot bigger than that too. There are a lot of stores and malls, and there's a huge mall called Robinson's Place where there's Robinson's food supermarket, and then they've got uh, like a department store there where you can buy pretty much the same stuff you used to be able to buy in Sears. Uh, Prices are slightly cheaper than they are in Pagadian. Pagadian, for example, for a tricycle ride, you used to have to pay 20 peso pretty much anywhere in town. Here you pay 8, which is dirt cheap when you think that Canadian dollar today is at about 39.5 peso per dollar, and 8 peso, it's a fraction of a dollar. So how can you not take that ride instead of, like, it's cheaper for me to take a cab ride than actually to drive my motorcycle in town. Not to mention the aggravation with the other asshole drivers that I don't have to put up with because I got my tricycle driver who knows how to deal with all that BS anyway. So I've been living here for about 3 weeks in this house. It's a fairly small wood house. Uh, no frills, nothing fancy here whatsoever. It's actually, somebody wanted my real opinion on this, and no holds barred. Yeah, it's a really shitty place to live, but hey, it's free. It doesn't cost anything, and I just basically chalk it down to camping in a tent, because camping in a tent could be just as shitty or shittier than this, especially in Canada when it snows. But here it's okay. It's really not that bad. We have some leaks in roof, and we get water pouring down, and we got to put a bucket here and there because they can't afford to replace the roof. There's also 16 of us living in this uh, little house, included children, little children as young as babies, like a year old or something like that. Yeah, it's hot. It's usually about 30 degrees here every day, anywhere between 28 and 30. I've seen 32 and 34 every now and then, but the standard is between 28 and 30. So I don't have to wear any warm clothes actually. The only reason why I'm wearing this shirt that you see right now is because I'm taking a video and I don't want to be half naked on national network sort of thing. So that's what we have to live with here. I probably sweat about a gallon a day, which is why we have to wash our clothes every day pretty much, and shower twice a day. Speaking of showering, there's no shower here. You still uh, bathe from 1 liter scoop out of a 20-liter pail that you fill from the tap. At least we got water here. Oh yeah, there's water here all the time. Uh, Toilet facility is really crappy. It bloody stinks in there. It just excuse me. It grosses me out every time I go in there. And so, number one, I usually do it around the house in a bush somewhere because I just don't really want to go in that place. Of course, number two, you gotta go in there, so you gotta put a clothespin on my nose and go in there and do your business and get out, and that's that. I offered to install a shower for them because they got the water facility right there, but they refused. They said, no, we don't want a shower. We just want to bathe from the bucket thing. Okay, well, cheaper for me. I don't care. I'll just use this until I leave. Speaking of leaving, I will be leaving here in the next few days. My girlfriend and I found a place just outside of town in a small barangay. It's beautiful little place. Lots of coconut trees there, and quiet little place. And she's got family there. She's got her uncle who actually, excuse me, put her to through school after her parents died, and she lived there for a number of years, so they get along great. And then she's got her cousin that owns a fairly large house. Yeah, that's a cement house actually, just maybe 50 feet away from the uncle's house. The uncle has pretty much a mansion there. It's a huge house, and they've got a fairly large canaderia. I would call it a restaurant myself, but they call it canaderia, and it's nice. And we were talking about food and what sort of menu and all that, and they found out that I'm quite the little chef, and they suggested that they might need my help to beef up the menu, maybe change it around a little bit, add some more exotic foods. Guess what? They call exotic food something that's not Filipino food. I call exotic foods Filipino foods, but they call exotic foods like pizza and calzone and spaghetti and bread, even bread. Yeah, believe it or not, bread here is shit. No, I can't stand the taste of this bread here. It tastes like Christmas bread. It's sweet, and I thought, yeah, what a great deal. And anyway, so the cousin that owns the house next door to the uncle's house, He is willing to rent out the portion of the house that used to be an internet cafe that had about 20 stations or something like that in there. It's fairly large space. It's all concrete again. It's not a wood house by any means. Concrete floors. It seems pretty clean. We just need to go in there and put a couple of dividing walls so that we can have a couple of bedrooms, one for Grace and I, and the other one for her two daughters. That they're going to share that one bedroom. And he said, "Well, how about the kitchen?" I said, "Well, I don't care about the kitchen. Just build me a shower. Shower will be great. Kitchen, it'll be outside on the porch. They have a covered porch, which is great, and they got a very large picnic table there and a couple of other benches. And I can put my gas stove out there, and I can build like a prep table or something like that to start prepping my foods and everything. And apparently we don't even have to buy a fridge, which we don't really have budget for that right now. And we can just borrow his fridge because he's never there. So it seems like a pretty damn good deal, and we get all that for uh, 1,500 peso. I just did the conversion about half an hour ago, and it comes down to $37.50 Canadian. Where can you get a rental house of that size? And I'll show you some video and some pictures of our new place once we move in for $37. Are you crazy? It, tent, you can't get a tent for $37. This thing, it's a beautiful place. They got a nice garden there in the back, and they said, "Oh, we got this like a lawn that they have in the front, and oh yeah, you guys feel free to build a garden there if you want." They own a car wash that's just next to the fence there, and yeah, it's pretty great. They also have another outbuilding on the other side of the fence next to the street, and they said, "Yeah, you can start your own food business there if you want, like a street food sort of thing." And I thought, wow, what a great opportunity for $37 a month. Come on, how can you go wrong with that? And but I don't want to put on any competition for Uncle Alex there. He's a army veteran, and a year ago he had a stroke, and half of his body is paralyzed, so he's sitting in the house, not able to do much. And he's got the current area there to run, but he's got his people to run it for him, and he's asked Grace to come in and help out with running of that place, managing and everything. He asked me to beef up the food uh, variety, because well, the business is not doing bad. It's doing pretty good. They used to do way better, but now there's more competition and everything. So I thought, hey, if I can bring in some new dishes for you, like pub foods and Italian foods, and perhaps even pizza. Nobody serves pizza there. Guess what? Nobody serves fries, French fries. Nobody serves those things there or here in Butuan. You can only get fries at McDonald's or Jollibee. Other than that, nobody, like not one of the small carinderia or small mom and pop stores. You cannot buy French fries there. Why? Because they don't know how to make them, and they're so simple. But I don't know if they don't have Google, or they don't care to learn about how to do new things to attract new clientele. And every single person that I've asked in all of these towns that I were in, I said, how would you like to be able to just walk down the street to one of your food vendors and be able to buy a little packet of French fries? And they said, oh yeah, I would love to be able to do that. We all like French fries here, but we can't find them anywhere except if you go to Jollibee. We don't like to go there because it's far, and maybe they charge too much for that. I don't know. Anyway, my whole thing is that I don't want to compete with the person that is trying to help me out in the food business. I would much rather uh, go into his restaurant and work for food basically, and either cook the food myself or teach his staff how to do the new recipes that I have in mind that I think are going to attract Filipino customers, clientele, because Filipinos love exotic foods. They love going to eat out all the time. I think they're just getting bored with their own foods here. It's always adobo and some soup and rice. That's pretty much it. Other than that, there's really nothing else new around here. I'm probably gonna go tomorrow to firm up the deal with our cousin there. So tell me this, guys, and please comment on this. If this guy that owns the house is Grace's cousin, does that make him my cousin too, or is he my cousin-in-law, or was it? I don't know the definition. Please let me know. Um, I will keep you posted as soon as I have any other news. Like I said, we're planning on going there in the next day or so to start uh, cleaning up the place and doing some dividing walls and do some work on the kitchen, put a kitchen sink in there, shower, repaint and all that. We're probably gonna move in anyway earlier because I can't wait to get out of here. I'm just, and this house is just way too crowded, and like I said, I don't like the toilet here. I think it's freaking disgusting. I would much rather crap in the middle of the street than go in there. And it would be pretty much the salvation if I got out of here tomorrow. But my girlfriend says, well, I don't want to take my kids over there when we're in construction because I don't want all the dust and everything getting into their lungs and whatever. But apparently her cousin has a spare room that we could use until the construction is done. We can move into the house proper. But when I go there, I'll try to take some video with my cell phone, and hopefully I'll figure out how to transfer it to my laptop so I can upload it, and some pictures that you guys can see. And well, you'll see it's a pretty nice place. I'm really happy that we found that place, and people are so nice and willing to help there. And the big yard is going to be great for the dogs because they're big dogs and they want their space, and they're hot and they want to find a place where they can dig down and find wet dirt and cool down and lie down all day and be lazy dogs. Anyway, please subscribe, comment, thumbs up, and if you got any questions, please ask, and I'll try to answer them the best that I can. See you guys later.